It being 10:08, I call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is comments or approval on the minutes. Carla. Good morning. You're muted. Carla, you're on mute. Okay, well, that's nice. Hi, Pete. Okay, for those who can hear and see, do you have any comments on the minutes? Any corrections? Suggest they're pretty slim minutes last time. None? If not, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Then I'll second.
Carla, if you can hear, if you agree to approve the minutes. Oh,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now too.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we have a few people on. I think they're all our, oh, I'm not sure. At this point, we'll open it for comments or concerns regarding the meeting agenda. If anybody has anything that they would like to add to the agenda or amend or any comments from just a second, turn this off. Here, hi, Kat, how are you?
Good morning. Happy New Year. I'm sorry, I'm sick, so if I lose my voice. I just want to say there are 4 matters that could be added to the agenda with a 2/3 vote. There are 3 CPE extension requests and 1 settlement agreement. I didn't know if this was the good time to do that or.
I think it would be. This is in addition to the Mr. Macara, Mr. Macero, and Ms. Batista, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So the 3 matters are Cassandra Gengler, Lindsay Kendrick, Monica Harris, and a settlement agreement with Rolary and Shepherd CPAs LLP.
Okay. And it's an agreement. Could I have a motion to add those to the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Added to the agenda. Moving on, any report from the legal division?
Not at this time. Excuse me.
Okay. Very good.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
at the last meeting, we said that we would give you a report on peer review. But at this time, the renewing period is still ongoing. I believe that CPAs have a grace period, I think 10 days. So we can't run a report at this time, a complete report. So I had asked, Mr. Chair, and he agreed that we can do it at the next meeting in March. I can give you a full report at that time as to the peer reviews and our enforcement efforts and things like that.
Okay, very good. So we can move directly on to old business. And I will mention, we had hoped once again to have one of our replacement board members this time. Tom Scanlon from the governor's office said there was a chance, but not guaranteed. Somehow it just seems to be set aside for other matters for the last signature. So we will greet our new member at the next meeting. Apparently not at this one. Okay, new business, CPE extension requests.
So Shamika is out today, so I'll be covering these extension requests. The first one we have is Mr. Richard McCara. He's from Stanford. He's requesting for an extension to November 29, 2023 to complete his CPEs. The reason is based on medical reason, and I had sent the board the reason and documentation last week.
Yeah.
Right. Does anybody have any comments? Okay. Then does anybody would care to either recommend approval or disapproval?
Recommend approval.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, sorry, Dan, only beat you to the punch.
Yeah, he did. He got me.
Okay, all in favor of approval?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next.
So we have Mr. Michael Acerbo. He's from Greenwich. He's requesting for an extension to December 31st, 2023 to complete his CPEs. His reason is that he said he was unaware of the CPE period. He said, I was unaware that the CPE and the licensing year are not the same. I did not realize I needed to complete the CPE requirements on June 30th. I have completed 40 CPEs by the end of the year. I was hoping I could be granted a waiver of the 625 penalty. I will be certain to complete my requirements by June 30th in the future.
See a new CPA that's why he was unaware? Do we know that?
Question.
We don't know. I can look it up real quick.
Okay.
These came in late.
You would have to think so.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Well, but if
Yeah,
you're
hope
new,
so.
the first year you're exempt, right? And then the following year is when you have to get it. So
Yeah,
let's see when he was
Hmm.
licensed.
He was licensed. He was licensed in 2021, and he was late last year as well. So last year he had to pay a $600 fee as well.
So if he was late last year, he should have known last year. So this
Right.
year, I feel like, last year, if he had requested it, it probably would have gotten approved. But this year, it's year 2. Kind of feel like he should know by now.
Mhm.
seems to be something that would have piqued the memory.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, any,
So-
yeah.
I have a question. So if we decline his request, what's the ramifications of that? That he has to pay $600 or?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Maybe $1,200 will make him remember.
Well, do we have the ability to potentially deny it and then get back to him to say, look, this is the second time you've done this. Please ensure that next year you're timely so that it's crystal clear to him.
Yes, you have the ability to deny the request.
But then explain why. Would we
Yes.
be?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
All right, I'll make the motion to deny the request.
Do we have a
Okay.
second?
A second.
Okay, by show of hands, all agreed?
Great.
Okay. Carries unanimously. Strange, I would have thought he would have come up with a better answer. If
Agreed.
Okay. Continue. Kat?
I'll go on with the 2/3 votes. The, Cassandra Gengler, I think that's how we pronounce it, Gengler. She requested an extension to November 3rd, 2023 to complete her CPEs. Reasoning is she was on maternity leave from May 11th through August 2023. And she was only 2 credits short of the June 30th deadline. And she did submit maternity and leave documentation.
Comments? Suggestions?
So basically, she was 2 months late. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. She was 2 credits
2 credits.
short in June.
Oh, 2 credits.
Right. And
4
she
months.
was also 2 months late. She completed it in August.
Okay.
She completed it when she came back from maternity leave, correct?
I would assume so. She didn't say when she completed it. I didn't see it, but she only asked until August.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, she asked an extension till November. She was out
Right.
through August and she completed it November 3rd, I believe.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve her request.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Next, every time I do this, I'm reminded when we used to take people to captain's mast on board ship, there's always some wise guy who would be on the side saying, "May the wheels of justice begin to spin, bring the guilty bastard in." But back to you, Kat.
All right, so next we have Lindsay Kendrick. She is requesting an extension until the December 31st. Her reasoning is maternity leave, and she had a baby on August 5th. She earned only 13 credits during the CPE period. She had 8 carryover. So she said that she completed 19 credits after June 30th. I just wanted to note that she had a baby in August 5th, which is after the June 30th deadline.
Does it say anything about being on like bed rest or anything prior to June 30th?
You know, she did not.
Comments, concerns?
That's a tough one.
Yeah. So she was basically at least 5 months late, but she had a baby during that time. Is that correct?
Yes, she had a baby in August 5th.
So in the
And
cutoff,
She only,
I don't really
I'm sorry.
understand.
Yeah, I
Have
thought-
we ever had a request, where someone used, I was pregnant as a reason for wanting an extension just in and of itself versus, I think Stacy's question was, well, was there some complication, an illness that she was experiencing?
Yeah, I didn't ask, because I figured that if that was a condition, she would have stated so. I could go back and ask if that's what, you know, you wish. Because a lot of people, when they ask if that was a medical condition, they would say so. She only submitted a birth certificate. There was no other medical documentation or leave. You know, some people provide leave absence that they left before the due date, so to speak.
Mhm.
She only submitted the birth certificate.
Yeah, I mean, I think having a baby in August doesn't, if there were no issues, I don't see how that really hinders her ability to sit and do CPE. So I would say, like, not deny it, but let's go back and ask her, you know, was there something related to the pregnancy that caused the delay in getting the CPE?
I agree.
Okay. So we'll go back. I will go back and ask her and present it at the next board meeting.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the next one we have, I forwarded you her request this morning because it was long. She requested for a fee waiver, but basically it's the same as an extension of time until December 31st to complete CPEs. She stated that basically her reasoning is she completed a training called, Global Mobility offered by her employer, and she was expecting 25 credits, but she didn't realize that the course was not NASBA approved at the time. According to her, it has been approved in the meantime. We got this request in this weekend. I didn't have time to look into it until, I saw it this morning. But basically she had 14 credits carried over from last year, and she submitted 3 credits that she completed during the renewal, the right period. So she had 17 legitimate credits. She just needed the 25. So they were not approved at the time, and she doesn't have the CPE certificates yet. So she's, if what she's stating is true, that the NASBA course has been approved by NASBA, as you know, we only approve courses that are approved by NASBA. And so at this time, that's the only thing that I can't, ascertain or verify. And she also had not submitted the certificates. So we could wait until that and whenever she gets that done.
Why don't we table it till you get more information?
And the one question I have,
do that.
Pat, it looks like they were planning on using the credits that were earned, the 28 CP earned in December of 2023. The question I have is, would those same credits that were earned the year earlier as part of that program, are those the ones that are now subsequently recognized by NASBA as being accredited? And if that's the case, then why not just use those credits?
We could, that's what I thought too. Like the one that she requested, she took last year was year 4, and the one that she recently took is year 5. We could use those credits. It's just that if we use those credits, then she doesn't get to use those credits next year. Right? Because it was, if we allow her to use the year 4 credits, if the certificates come in, then she can use these year 5 credits for next year. Otherwise, she'd have to take extra.
That's right. I agree with Carla suggested, maybe we just wait and let's get more information in terms of what certificates come in for what programs that NASBA has recognized, and then we can move forward on, on this one.
Okay, I will do that. I will get more information. So the last
I'm
matter
sorry,
I have.
what was the name on the, I didn't get the name for this last request.
Sure, it's Monica Harris.
Thank you.
And the last matter I have is case number 2023-41, Roleri and Shepherd CPAs LLP. It's a CPA firm located in Fairfield. From 2013, 2021, the firm was named Knight, Roleri, Shepherd CPAs LLP. The firm was owned by Michael Knight and two other partners. And Michael Knight was had the majority ownership most of the time, except for 3 years when 3 partners had equal partnership. So in August of 2022, the firm expelled Mr. Michael Knight from the partnership and changed his name to Roleri and Shepherd. However, the firm did not notify the board of the expulsion of Mr. Knight. The firm did not notify the board of the changes in the identities of the firm's partners, and the firm did not notify the department of the change in the identity of the person in charge of the firm's offices. Also, the firm renewed its firm permit, the old firm permit, on October in 2022, and also again in 2023. And so the department, when the department became aware of the change in ownership, we asked the firm to apply for a new firm permit, and it did, and not until December 4th, 2023. So the firm's failure to notify the board of the change in ownership and the management is a violation of 20-2281E and the regulation 20-280 15D. And also the firm's failure to apply for a new permit when changes were made with the new ownership is a violation of 20-280 15D as well. And so we enter into a settlement agreement with the firm. The terms of the settlement agreements were that they will pay a penalty of $1,500 and they will complete a peer review by the end of 2024. And so, as you know, the law requires that when a firm changes ownership, you have to ask for you have to apply for a new firm permit. And every new firm has to complete a peer review within the first 12 months. And so that's what they agreed to do, complete a peer review by the end of this year. So the settlement agreement is presented to the board for your approval.
Okay, do we have any comments? Anybody like to? Just one, is the penalty a fairly standard penalty for that? It seems to be pretty black and white otherwise.
Yes, it's the standard. Usually it's, as you know, it starts at 1,000 per violation. Here they renewed for 2 years and they failed to notify, but it's related to the same thing. So we took the middle road, $1,500.
And the requirement to do the peer review in the first year, that would exist anyway if they had done it. So it's really
Correct.
just, okay. So it's just dollar penalty.
Okay. Would anybody like to make a motion or further discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll
Second?
second.
Good. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
And I believe no one opposed. Do we have anything else? That was the final one, wasn't it?
I think there's one more on the agenda, but that's not my item.
Yeah, there's a, excuse me, there's another waiver request. Barbara
That's
Batista.
Barbara Batista, yes.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
She's requesting a waiver of the $625 late fee for having completion continuing education after June 30, 2023. Okay. Stepsis of the spine as a result in chronic pain often requires that I be bedridden. My time is frequently consumed as a result. Okay, and did we get a?
She
looking,
did
I don't-
provide an additional, she resent in a request with additional documentation. I can share it with you guys.
Okay, yes, please.
I just
thank
got it this morning, so. Okay.
Okay, that's very tiny print, but I presume it's
Yeah.
medical information.
Yes, sorry, let me zoom in a little bit more. So we do have, I believe this is the important part here is where her conditions are listed. She has.
Huh.
I guess what's the source of the document that would,
Sure.
is it the
Yeah.
hospital or doctor or something?
This is what was provided. I mean, there really wasn't.
Is it from a doctor, I guess?
Correct. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a kind of a my health, my chart kind of deal.
Yes.
Yeah, from the portal.
Oh, it's from MD.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13.
But it does look like probably something like a My Chart printout here.
Yeah.
Yes, there's not really any sort of legal note, letterhead or anything with this kind of thing. Of course.
When is the last entry? Should be on.
It was updated on December 28th, it said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was requested on the 28th. Let's see.
Problem. 2020.
2020?
Yeah, I think 2020 is the last date here.
So basically, the date on the top there is probably just an automatic date of when it's being accessed.
Yeah. I would be more comfortable if we can get an actual doctor's note.
Yes.
Listing the time period that would cover the CPE period.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. Do we have to put that in any sort of a motion, Kat?
You guys tabled the one before too, so we could table this one
Okay.
again for additional information.
Okay.
I would agree.
Then, unless there's anybody opposed, let's do that. Okay. That brings us to all the issues. I do have one comment I'd like to make. Looking at everybody up on the screen, the state regs require that we have that our board have 5 licensed CPAs on it. And I've talked to a couple of people and want to go on that when we have people in retirement, they generally don't like to remain licensed CPAs because they get hit with what, $625 or $565 a year fee for that, to see if at least we can get that waived for people that are serving on the board. So I'll get back. I mean, it doesn't necessarily affect the CPE or whatever, but when we go into a lower status of just registered, or that wonderful, when you give up your license, you can be for free like a permanent ex officio, whatever they call that. That technically takes you off the licensed CPA. So I'll let you know. I'm supposed to have a, just for your information, Kat, Tom Scanlon said he wanted to talk very briefly tomorrow, but I haven't heard anything since. And that's about 3 weeks to a month old, so that might have been overtaken by events. So that, and the commissioner will see if we can get something in there to do that, or at least divert some of the money that comes in, none of which goes directly to the operation of the board, but to the general fund to pay those licensure fees. Just seems to be fair. Doesn't seem like you guys should be charged for volunteering. So, do we have any new business or matters for discussion? Very well. Seems like everybody's still recovering from the holidays, so I'll entertain a moment to adjourn. Unless Rochelle or Kat have anything they'd like us to address.
This is Jay.
Oh, Jay? Okay.
Yeah, just back to that last thing you were discussing about board participation. I mean, whatever you entertain would be, a change to law or regulation. So one suggestion I make rather than try and divert fees and all that, maybe they can just change the makeup of the board to include CPAs under a retired status, because that's only $20.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
But in order to be retired status, you have to be 65.
Hmm.
Oh,
Right?
is that true?
I thought so.
Well, I certainly qualify.
Yes,
Maybe
that
just
is
double-
true.
Yeah.
The statute requires you to be 65.
So maybe that it's, yeah. You have to remove that 65
Yeah.
handle and just say if they're retired.
Okay. Well, it's something to consider, and I'd appreciate anybody's further thoughts. Just send in whenever, because it's for whatever reason, whether it's related to the pandemic, society demands on people right now, it's very difficult to get people to volunteer to serve on boards right now. And so we appreciate very much everybody that is. So trying to reduce any impediments would be useful without harming the expectations of the board. So any ideas, please send along. And
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
yes, Ryan.
Ryan. Just two quick notes before you adjourn. I'll certainly pass along the issue up to legal, though. Just so you're aware, the package for this year has been already submitted to the governor's office. So any change in statute on that would at least have to wait until the 2025 legislative session, just to give you kind of a context for kind of
Yeah.
what that is.
I understand that usually gets locked in like in August.
That's correct. Just again for time frame.
Yeah.
And also just wanted to pass along that this will be my last meeting with you all. I'm going to be joining the Department of Public Health in the next couple of weeks. But we have an excellent attorney returning to the department, Paul Grabowski. He has some experience. He was a staff attorney with this unit previously, and you will all be in very good hands, along obviously with Kat and the rest of the team.
Okay, and thank you, and we appreciate your
Thank you, Ryan.
help all up till now. So good luck on your new position.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody else that wishes to make any comments? Members of the public, members of the DCP support? Okay, hearing none. Now I'll entertain a moment to adjourn.
I'll make that motion, John.
Okay.
A second.
Okay, have a motion second. No discussion or amendment admitted. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And just a reminder, anybody has any thoughts on progression on those issues, please just let me know. Thank you very much, everybody. And I guess
Happy New
those still
Year.
working are back to work.
Happy New Year.
Have a great day. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Take care.
Happy New Year.
New Year, everybody.